still believe that Makoto Shinkai has yet to make a movie as good as Your Name. Suzume is the newest anime film from acclaimed writer-director Makoto Shinkai. It tells the story of a 17-year-old girl named Suzume who helps a mysterious young man close doors from the other side that are releasing disasters all over in Japan. Now, just a quick disclaimer, I am not the biggest anime fan in the world. In fact, I have seen a couple episodes of different anime shows, but I've never really fully even finished a season of one of those shows. I've seen a handful of anime movies from Studio Ghibli, and I previously just binged Makoto Shinkai's filmography in preparation for this movie to kind of just indulge myself in his filmography and get a bit more grasp of his previous films. And when it comes down to Suzume, it was a frustrating watch for me. I know it's going to work for a lot of people though. And I'll get more into my in-depth thoughts in a second, but before we do, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoy the rest of this review, and comment down below what are your thoughts or expectations for Suzume. But let's keep talking about the movie. I'll start off with the aspects of this movie that I enjoyed because, per usual, without a doubt, the animation in this movie is stunning. It seems like with every new Shinkai movie that he makes, the animation just continues to top itself. Weathering With You had stunning animation. Now this movie has arguably even better animation. Also, the voice cast is great. This is my first time actually watching an anime movie subbed, and I did thoroughly enjoy my experience with it. I think it added a little bit more to the characters. Sometimes voice performances can feel stale in dubbed movies, I find, but here they felt very realistic. There's also a really good score that added a lot to the action sequences in particular. And I'll talk more about a subplot in a second that I enjoyed more than actually the main storyline in this movie. There's a lot of fantastical elements in this movie that I thought was a cool addition. Makoto Shinkai has had fantastical elements in all of his movies, but here we have a character that turns into a chair about 20 minutes into the movie and stays as a chair for basically the remainder of the movie. There's a talking cat that our main characters befriend throughout the entire movie. That's where I'll get into my frustrating aspects of this movie, because I found that I wasn't connecting or getting really invested in both the story and the characters. Don't get me wrong, there is depth to Suzume in particular, and that leads to some very heart-wrenching moments in the movie, but it just wasn't enough for me to get fully on board with the characters, at least. And then when you get into the story, I just wasn't all too interested in it for the 2-hour-long runtime. I found this movie to be too long. It comes to a screeching halt about an hour into the movie, when it felt like there seemed to be a conclusion to the overall story. But then it continues on for another hour, and then it just really dragged, and it felt like we were moving in a totally new direction. And I would just say, as a whole, this movie has a tendency to get off track. In the first and second act in particular, we'll have a couple scenes that just feel honestly misplaced, and they easily could have been cut on the editing room floor. But the main thing I wanted to talk about is that there's a subplot within this movie having to do with Suzume and the relationship that she's had with her mother. Without getting into spoilers, it's a very heart-wrenching subplot, and that's what I was alluding to a bit earlier. I wish that story was at the forefront rather than her just chasing after a boy that she doesn't really have that great of romantic chemistry with. Their relationship is not really established as well as it should have been. She's kind of just chasing after her hero in a way, and I wasn't really on board for that, as much as I was on board for her exploring what potentially happened to her mother. So as a whole, this movie was frustrating for me, but I know it's going to work for so many people, because there's a lot to enjoy in this movie, whether it's the voice performances, the score, the overall story. I think a lot of people can get invested in, just not me in particular. There are good characters, not that memorable though. The animation is stunning, and that was a big highlight of this movie. There's elements to enjoy with it, but there was elements that had me frustrated as well in the end. I'm gonna give Suzume a C-. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this movie more than I did, and let me know once again your thoughts in the comment section below. I want to thank you so much for watching this review, and again, if you did enjoy it, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, as well as that notification bell so you don't miss any further videos. And as always, look forward to more videos and reviews coming soon. My name is Ben, people call me Meter, and I'll see you guys in the next one.